Ever wonder how artists go from unknown to unforgettable? The University of Arts and Design just launched How Artists Become Known. It's a free seminar series, and we're starting with Van Gogh. Watch now at uad.education. Welcome to the Make and Design podcast. I'm Carina Gardner, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, which is learning by doing. I love learning by doing. And I practice this exact thing in my life. And I was thinking about how I love teaching my designers that they need to love learning by doing, because that's how they become excellent. That's how we become so smart at everything we do. And I was just thinking about how I am experiencing this right now, this learning by doing, because of building the university. So the university had its 2-year anniversary in May 15th. I don't know if I'm ever going to forget that day, because it was such a big deal when we filed initially to become a university. And I had just come back from a trip from Amsterdam with my good friends Nikki and Natalie, and I was making that decision. I had been to an important conference just a few months before, then went straight to Amsterdam, and then came home and started the paperwork that would end up being the University of Arts and Design. And I will tell you, the last 2 years has been learning by doing, especially the last, I would say, 6 months, because of the invisible work that I've had to do that, at this point in time, I can't talk about, but just know, like, owning a university is a massive undertaking, and it's probably the hardest thing I've ever done. And there's not a chance I could have done this if I hadn't run Design Suite first, had run my own design business first, had run Mini Lou first, had been a creative director for another company first. Like, all of these things, all this building that I did, it really led me to a place of figuring out, like, oh, here's the next best step, right, for what I need to do. I think I've made some strategic decisions that were wrong along the way, and not just a few. I think a lot. I think this is a good case where the more you fail, the more you win. If you guys have never heard me talk about that, I think failure is a little bit of a construct in our mind, right? Like, if you choose to fail, or not choose, you choose to do something, you actually set up the parameters for why you fail or you win, right? So let me give you an example of this. I think is really interesting. I teach my designers to turn in or put out in product at least 10 products per week. Okay. So that's like kind of one of my baseline things. And we tell people to do this. And let's pretend for me, that is my baseline. So if I fail to hit those 10, maybe I only put out 3 products this week, I might feel like I failed, right? If I hit 10, then I'm successful. But do you see what I just did there? I created the parameters for what was failure and what was success. So I just think it's a very interesting thing, this whole idea of failure. I was listening to another podcast, and they have, like, I guess, a fail team where, like, they're trying to figure out how to fail faster, which basically means, like, they do a lot of stuff to figure out what the clear winners are. So they're doing a lot of failing in the process, which I understand, because the more things I put out, the more I fail, usually the quicker I can get to the right answer quickly. But once again, we are determining the parameters for failure, which is kind of an interesting construct that we have figured out. Let me give you another example of this. That same example of, like, let's say I say 10, another designer might say, hey, their number is 3. And if they hit 3 every week, they feel successful, right? Whereas I feel like a failure if I've only done 3, right? So this whole idea of failure is a really interesting thing. And then that takes me back to, once again, the learning by doing. The only way we learn how to do something well is by actually doing it, right? And I actually think that has been the success behind the results we've been getting at the university as well. Because if you're forced to turn in your artwork, you're forced to turn in your business plan, you're forced to go ahead and start your business because you're getting graded on it, then you are being forced to learn by doing. And that is really the power, I think, of taking coursework that is graded, that you are actually getting a degree for, that you're even actually getting a certificate for. In our continuing education program, you get a completion certificate. But that's a really powerful thing, this whole learning by doing thing. I really came upon this idea when I was working on my master's degree in design. If you listen a few episodes back, I talk about my story there. But I hadn't done a lot of design work before my master's degree. I went in kind of with a research mindset. And so I ended up taking all of these courses. I had to audit all these courses because I didn't know typography very well, but I was walking into this master's degree program. So I had to get some of these basics down, and all these professors had me just taking courses on top of everything else so I could see what everyone was doing. And it was by learning, by doing in those courses, that I was able to understand what needed to happen in my master's degree to make it successful. And so I think there is so much power in all the doing that we do. And I also think it's powerful for us as designers and artists because we are doers. We like to make. I am a maker at heart. I'm a creator at heart. I want to create, whether it's drawing physically or making things in Illustrator and Photoshop on my computer or drawing it in Procreate on my iPad. I am a maker and creator at heart. So the doing feels very natural to me. The doing feels like something I'm going to do no matter what because I'm a creator. You're a creator. You are doing and making. So the question is, what are you learning by it? Are you stuck? Do you create the same thing over and over again? Or are you trying to be 1% better? What would make your artwork or your design work just a little bit better? There is a lot here, you guys, that most people aren't doing. There are people who just design. 20 years later, their design work kind of looks the same. What are you doing to up-level your design work, to make it better, to make it more marketable, to understand the business side so that you can actually sell it? These are things that I've been doing for the last 18 and a half years in my design business. How do I make it better? What can I do to solve the problem of me trying to learn by doing so that I can create this profitable business? And I think it's something that you should be thinking about. I'm definitely thinking about so that I can be better, right? That I can grow and become the next level of myself. I think it's what we all are really trying to do, right? We're all trying to grow, become better, and maybe do different things in our lives. I hear designers talk about, all the time that they don't want to be doing their current career. That's why we get so many what we call the encore career ladies coming into my programs, right? The encore career says, hey, this encore career is going to be an enjoyable piece. It's going to be a fun piece. It's going to be something I really have been wanting to do my whole life, but I couldn't because I had this other career, or I had children at home, or I had aging parents. Whatever it was that was keeping you from this next stage, it is still here for you. It is still waiting for you. Yes, even in retirement, we've had lots of women in retirement come in and learn how to build careers. Yes, it's still here for you. And if you don't think the degree is something you really want, the coursework probably is, and will get you to the next level. And that's really why I own a university, because I like the results that we get. We like that people can see the trajectory of what they're trying to do, not because the degree is important, because the learning by doing is important. Do you need a degree to have a design business? No, you do not. Do you need to take coursework that grades you to get it done? Most of us do. Most of us need that little pressure point of actually having to turn in our work on a timely basis in order to get the work done. And that is the thing I discovered by running my other programs. And that's why you have courses that you've never finished. Me too. I'm going to raise my hand on this. Like, there are courses that I never even opened up that I've purchased. Why? Because there was no incentive to. And so that's why I, in integrity, started a university. Because I knew that if you came and you did the work, that your learning by doing would get you a result. Even if that result was just simply that you learned what you needed to learn, that you came away with a vast amount of knowledge about design, about business, about marketing, and your next steps. And I'm so, so proud of my students for that. But I'm also so proud of you for trying to learn by doing, just doing the thing. It's a really important piece. And I hope that you take that into heart this week as you're working on your business, as you're working on your coursework, as you're trying to become the next version of yourself. Just continue doing. The more you do, the more you're going to learn.
Want to hang out more? Go to designsuitecourses.com/free to get our weekly freebies and patterns, die cut files, and more. Can't wait to see you there. I have a gift for you. My third book, The Intentional Design Year, is out, and I want to give you access to read it. To get the digital copy for 1 month for free, go to www.designsuitecourses.com/intentional. Make sure and do the www. Because for some reason, that's the only way it will work. Anyway, this will get you free access to read the book for an entire month. If you love it, you can always go to Amazon and get the whole book plus the prompt journal.